we're back. This is my Reading Challenge 2020 update. It is currently April 15th, so I'm just going to go through all the books that I've read so far with my thoughts and my ratings. My goal this year is 100 books, and honestly, I'm definitely scheduled to surpass that, unless I decide, like I did last year, to binge watch Netflix shows for 6 months and ruin all my progress. But I don't think that's going to happen this time. So I know a lot of people are in quarantine. I am not. So I have 2 jobs. One of them is essential, one of them is non-essential. So I'm currently still working my essential job. I do have like a little bit more time to read, not very much, but a little bit more time to read. So I've been going through books like they're candy, because there's literally nothing else to do. So yeah, without further ado, we're just gonna go ahead and get into it. I have my notepad down here. I did write them in order, but they're all scattered, so just bear with me. It's gonna be fun. All right, first we have The Last Juror by John Grisham. This was okay. This is actually going into my list of books to donate because I really didn't like it that much. I gave it a 3 out of 5, so there you go. Then we have The Whisper Man by Alex North. This was a book of the month copy. I actually really liked this one. I gave this one a 4. I'm not going to get into too much detail because I don't want this video to be like over 10 minutes if I can help it. Really good though. Gave this one a 4. Definitely keeping it. The next 3 books are on my Kindle. So I read the first 3 of the Mortal Instruments series, City of Bones, City of Ashes, and City of Glass. I typically reread them like once every year or every other year, and those ones I give a 5 because I love that series. I love Cassandra Clare. So yeah, there's not really much more to say about it. Next, The Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. I had heard a lot of things about this. I think like 2 years ago I saw Jackie Aina and she said she was reading it. Well, I didn't see her, I was watching her YouTube channel. She said she was reading it, and so I had always been on my list, and then I finally got it from Walmart for like $11. So good. It takes place in like this kingdom that's kind of reminiscent of Africa, and it's about like these magic warriors and how magic was lost and how one girl finds out that she has magic and then she journeys to get the magic back. It was super great. Super cool world. Awesome. Like, I really love this one. I give this one a 5. The sequel, Children of Virtue and Vengeance. So just kind of following after the events of the first one, which I won't say because I don't want to spoil any of it. This one I also gave a 5. I really, really like this author, and I like the way that she writes. Her writing style is awesome, and I love the character. But 5, good stuff. Next, A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini, I believe. This is the same author of The Kite Runner. Kite Runner, great book, so sad, so horrible. This book, the same, so sad, so horrible, but it was fascinating. I loved it. I gave it a 5, and it's one of those books I don't know if I'm ever going to read it again, just because I can't imagine putting myself through that again. But it was such a good book. Definitely recommend this one and The Kite Runner. Awesome, like 5 out of 5 stars. Then we have Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. I read another book by Riley Sager. I think it's called Final Girls. This one, oh man, I read it in one day. It was awesome. I gave this one 5 stars. It's about this girl who moves into this really famous historical hotel called the Bartholomew, I believe in New York, and then she just kind of starts realizing that things are not what they seem. Originally she moves in there, she's supposed to be like apartment sitting, and they have like some rules, and then she gets like $2,000 or like $4,000 a month, like some ridiculous amount. So basically she just starts to realize like it's kind of creepy, things are weird, what's going on. Did not see the ending coming. I love this one. 5 stars. All right, then we have Pieces of Her by Karen Slaughter, and I think I am done with this author. When it was finally said and done, I was just kind of like, okay, so, like, who cares? What was all that for? So I gave this one a 1. I was so irritated by the end of it. This is also going to be donated because I didn't like it at all. All right, then we have Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Nyan. This one was really cool. I've been seeing this cover everywhere, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like I really, really, really want to know what that's about. It was good. It was okay. I was expecting just like a little bit more like, ugh. But I mean, it was good. I know the second book is already out and I just haven't picked it up, partly because the second book is hardcover and this one's paperback, and I want to, when I have a set, I want to have them all be the same thing. So yeah, I gave this one a 3, maybe like a 3.5. It wasn't bad, but it just wasn't as good as I was expecting, but I do still recommend it. Like, it's a pretty cool story, pretty cool background too. Then we have The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. This one was pretty good. I gave it a 4. I liked the characters, I liked the storytelling, and the ending was pretty cool too. I definitely didn't see it coming. So this one is a keeper for me. Next we have Gone by James Patterson. I picked this up at a Goodwill a really long time ago. I'm typically always a fan of James Patterson. I feel like you can't really go wrong. This one is not following Alex Cross, it's following Michael Bennett and his family. James Patterson always kind of makes me nostalgic, and it reminds me of my mom, because my mom always used to read James Patterson, who's kind of, it just kind of takes me back. I give this one a 4. I really liked it. Yeah, there's not much else to say about that. Next we have The Reader by Bernard Schlink. Once again, I got this from Goodwill a few years ago, and I finally forced myself to sit down and read it because I had seen the trailers for like the actual movie with Kate Winslet, and I was just like, oh, like, you know, I really want to read it. It's an interesting story. It didn't really like keep my interest. I gave it a 3, and I am gonna go ahead and unhaul it just because I don't foresee myself reading it again, but I am glad that I did read it, and I do understand why people think that it's such a great book, even though I am unhauling it and I only gave it 3 stars. Like, I get it. So yeah. The next book I don't have with me. I loaned it to a friend. It is The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. I'll insert like a little picture here. It's not really like a book reading for pleasure, but it's more just like how to get out of debt, how to manage your life, how to live like no one else so you can live like no one else. Some of you may have heard of it. That one I gave a 5, but I feel like it's not really one that you can like actually rate. It's more of like a self-help financial management book. So there's that. Next, we have The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh. I had heard a lot of stuff about this one, about how it like didn't really live up to the hype, and I do agree. I did like it. I thought the writing was phenomenal, like the descriptions and the way that the characters were acting. I thought it was really great. With one caveat, kind of. So the main character, Celine, I feel like the way that the author would describe her thought process, it was more like really like telling you instead of showing you, or having the actor show you through, or I'm sorry, having the character show you through her actions. It was more just like, you know, she felt this and she wasn't gonna let him do this, so she did this. That part I didn't really care for, but for me, the rest of the storyline kind of like well made up for it. My main thing with this book is that when it finally got down to like the meat and potatoes of it, it was over. So I know there's a sequel coming out, and I will read it because I want to know what happens. This one I gave a 3, maybe like a 3.5. It was good, and I'm still keeping it. I just like it left me wanting more. It didn't get to where I wanted it to get before it ended. So yeah. Then we have What the Night Knows by Dean Koontz. When it's all said and done, I gave it like a 3.5. I won't be keeping it just because I don't think I would read it again. But I mean, it was a pretty good book that kind of kept you guessing. So there's that. Next, we have The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak. I bought this years ago, and I tried, I think, 3 different times to read it, and I couldn't get through it. But people were saying it was so great, so I was just like, you know what? No, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to read it. So, really liked it. Gave it a 5. I don't know if I will read it again, but I will still keep it because it's just one of those books you're just kind of like, yeah, you know, okay, I get it. So, this was a 5. Next, we have Good Girls Lie by J.T. Ellison. So this one I gave it 2. I will be unhauling it. There's no reason for me to keep it. I really was not that interested. Then we have Hide and Seek by James Patterson. This one is about a woman named Maggie Bradford. She is on trial for the second time for murdering her husband. I gave it a 3. I will be unhauling. Then we have The Girls by Emma Cline. So I give this one a 1, and I'm not going to be keeping it. Next, we have The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. This is the Barnes & Noble edition that is all black. This one is about a girl named, I believe, Jude. And she was, her parents were murdered, and then her parents' murderer took her to live with him in the land of fairy along with her sisters. So it's very hard being a human in the land of fairy. I love this book. There are 2 more books that are already out and have been out for a while. The Wicked King and The Queen of Nothing, which I do want to get in the Barnes & Noble copies. But it was really good. I enjoyed it. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I will definitely be keeping it. I think it's pretty, and I can't wait to see what happens next, because it definitely left on a very interesting note. So Next we have Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. There's a second book for this one as well. I think it's called like Get a Clue, Danny Brown, who's Chloe's sister. This follows Chloe. She has a chronic pain condition, and she basically is presented as like kind of this stuck up, bougie, too good for anyone woman. And then her like apartment manager or something like that, his name is Red. Two opposites. It's kind of like a hate to love trope. And I did enjoy it. I thought it was very interesting because some of the language kind of contradicted itself. Like at first it was like funny and light and romance, then all of a sudden it was like R-rated sexual stuff. So it was kind of hard for me to reconcile those two. But I did give it a 3.5, and I do want to pick up the other book, but yeah, 3.5 for this one. Then we have The Demon King by Cinda Williams Chima. This is a Seven Realms series. It's about follows two characters. First one is Han Alistair. He is a thief turned magician. Follows his story with basically how he creates relationships and goes off to study in order to help the kingdom, along with his best friend. And then we also have the future queen, Princess Raisa Anna Maria, and how she's like kind of navigating through the world. So it's a great series. There's charm casters, there's warriors, there's treachery and deceit and betrayal. It's awesome. So I did read The Demon King along with The Exiled Queen, along with The Grey Wolf Throne, along with The Crimson Crown. So there are 4 books in the series. I did read all of them, and I did give them all a 5, I believe. Next, we have Love at First Like. It's a little contemporary romance I picked up from Target. This one is about Eliza Roth, and she accidentally posts to her jewelry store Instagram that she's getting married, when in reality she's not. She doesn't even have a boyfriend. So it's like follows her and how she's trying to audition boyfriends and things so that she can keep this facade going online, because it's definitely helping her store. It's a really good book. One of those ones, definitely predictable, but it was just kind of like a feel-good romance. I will be keeping it. I liked it a lot. I gave this one 3.5 stars. Next, we have The Lucky One by Nicholas Sparks. I saw this movie when it first came out. I was just starting college, I believe, with Zac Efron, and I loved it. And so I found this book at Goodwill, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like that's just gonna be good. Just like, regular Nicholas Sparks romance. So I definitely enjoyed it. It was just kind of really sweet, feel-good romance. It was awesome. I gave this one a 4. I definitely enjoyed it. All right, next we have the Twilight series. I found all 4 of these at Goodwill. I needed the hardcover edition. So Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, and Breaking Dawn. I'm sure you've heard about this one. Bella, human, falls in love with Edward, vampire. There you go. Reading these again was definitely kind of an eye-opener as to how young-minded I was when I first read them, which was, I believe, high school. Looking back, I'd probably give, so Twilight I gave like a 4, but actually now that I'm thinking about it, like Twilight's a 3. New Moon was actually pretty good, was a 4. Eclipse, 2.5. Breaking Dawn, solid 4. Those are my new revised ratings of those, because now I'm older and I'm just like, I'm sorry, what? You knew him for how long? And you're in love. Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, I'm currently rereading Game of Thrones. I'm currently rereading Clockwork Angel and a few self-help books as well, along with the Book of the Month book that I just cannot seem to get through. So I don't know when the next update will be, but I just kind of wanted to give you guys a rough idea of where I'm at so far. So if you have stuck around for this entire video, you're awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going to try to get it down as short as possible. I tried to be really concise with my summaries, because I know I tend to ramble on. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you have not already. If you feel like it, no pressure, no worries. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.